And on the concept of culture, because so you said that every 3 to 4 years you take a look at the code and ask, does this still work for us? So do you think company culture needs to evolve as time goes on, or is culture something that is kind of timeless and that just no matter how long the organization is there for, this is the culture that we want to have? Or are there two different aspects to that?
I think that definitely it should evolve, because also like this, like the stages of the company. When you are a startup, it's very different when you are a 300 people company, right? It's how you operate. When you are going to IPO, that's another level of complexity. What is also like, I think like at every stage you need to see, okay, what is that we wanna like keep and cultivate? What doesn't serve us anymore any longer, right? For example, for some time in Mind Valley, we were calling ourselves a family. Like, this is a family, we're like all in this together. But then we realized we don't want to be any more family, because we want to be on IPO. We want to like be able to build the best technology, right? We want to work with the best authors. We really want the team to be different levels. So we decided we want to be a sports team now. So I think like the culture will evolve, and that happened to Mind Valley as well. It was like it went through like evolution in a sense that it's always like being conscious and being like aware of what's happening this point of time. Same with Code of Awesomeness, right? Like being able to articulate, it's super important. And as well as like new people join, as old people leave, who were part of that creation process. And I also feel that when new people join, that's for them opportunity to contribute a lot to the culture and make the change that they would like to see. So to me, this is a very evolutionary process. It's also like, let's look at Microsoft, right? Microsoft is a very great example. When there was this CEO for a long time, his surname, if I'm not mistaken, was Balmer, right? Jim Balmer, I think. He was very ruthless, like strict CEO, all about revenue. Like people were like, there is this meme of a toxic organizational culture being shared, where like all departments having like guns on each other, right? Like this is how they were communicating, working. The moment he left and another guy stepped in, the current CEO, he was like a long-term employee, and like he immediately spoke, my culture will be about growth mindset, about giving open feedback, and this will lead us to innovation. The culture has changed, and it's amazing, the transformation. Now Microsoft stock is even increased, like it impacted to that. So for sure this like an evolutionary process, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. No, that makes, I never considered that, because I always thought that culture is something that is kind of almost the ethos of the organization, and it can be adjusted, but it shouldn't be changed from from when you were a startup to as you grow. But as you know as well, I'm sure you've seen, like you said, in Mind Valley, there's been evolutions, there's been transformations, but a lot of companies, as they grow, they typically tend to lose the culture from, for example, when they were a startup. And a lot of employees might feel that new culture is not something that's not why they joined the company. It's gone from being like you said, you guys used to be a family, and now it's more of like a team, like a sports team, as you said. So, yeah. And in a lot of startups, at the beginning, that's kind of what it feels like. And then as it grows, it becomes a bit more corporate. And especially if you're on an IPO and so on, it changes. So is the issue that in a lot of organizations, the culture is changing without taking the employees' like feedback into consideration, and that's why you say, as companies grow, they lose culture? Or is it that the culture never changes as the company grows? Which one would you say? What do you think?
I actually don't think like a culture should evolve based on feedback employees all the time. In a way, I say it is that when new people join, they should be empowered to see that that they can contribute to the culture, they can enrich it, right? They don't change it necessarily, but they enrich it, right? They see like something doesn't work out, how do we fix it, what's going on here, right? Rather than only fitting in. uh, yeah, so let me know if I answered the question. Maybe I just didn't understand the second part. What did you mean by it?
Yeah. So I was just saying that in a lot of the cases, like you said, that okay, I think you said it right, that it's not about changing the culture. It's about when they join, can they enrich the culture? But a lot of companies, as they grow, they tend to lose the culture that they started with. But as we discussed, just now, that you said that culture is something that needs to evolve. But should culture completely change? Do you understand what I mean? Like as you grow, it tends to go from like startup. Once you get like bigger, it's more corporate, and you don't have the values that you started with aren't necessarily here. Or is culture something
Mm-hmm.
that there should be a foundation, and we make a slight adjustments as time goes on, not like a completely, revamp? What do you think?
Yeah, it depends. I think it depends a lot on different factors. Of course, depends on CEO as well, how he sees it, and or the owner or the founder. Um, like I think like probably like let's go back to really understanding why does your business exist. This
Okay.
would be like even a sooner like question, right, before like talking about the culture, like understanding, okay, like what is that we are doing, what's the mission of the company, is it still the same? So this is not like it's a very important component, right? Because from there, that's how you like attract people, that's how you operate, and so on, right? So probably like the mission will be always like mostly will be there. It will be maybe go through slightly like variations, but like the existence of the business will remain, the why will remain the same. And then how you're reaching that, those components of culture will go through evolution, right? So like how
Mm.
we make decisions, like who are the people who are driving it, that's going to be the go through evolution. And again, here will come, okay, the different stage of the company, where you are at, and what is needed at that point of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think.
Hmm.
Sorry, please go ahead.
Yeah. And also like if we were to talk about the principles, right, I mentioned that like for Mind Valley we identified these three fundamental founder brand values, which are kind of like a filter for a lot of things. And then on top, we build the principles that are needed at this point of time for the culture. So probably like the mission, not probably, for sure, mission of the company, why you exist, and this like three non-negotiable things, they will stay like long and they will serve you for a long time. Everything else will go through evolution transformation.
Yeah, I think you said it perfect. That's the part that I wasn't aware of. It's the part before all the changes happen, is that super important question is, why does this business exist? And the three values, that was the foundation that I was talking about. So that is what doesn't change, and that is what all the transformation, all the adjustments that come with it are built from there. That's where it comes from, and that's how things evolve and so on. That was a part I've never understood. So thank you. I had no idea about that part. I think you're 100% right.